Hello everyone, Jorge here again with Avalos Cloud Native Technologies and Nexus Technologies. This is going to be video number 4. We're just doing a review of Git, which is a repository. We have done like 3 different videos with the history of this GitHub, right? Um, GitHub, Git. So Git was created by Linux. GitHub was created by 4 different people, and they brought basically the code from Linux to basically back to life because it was having a lot of users, but GitHub scaled it to be like a social media. All right. So what are we going to be doing today? So we're going to be doing more labs, more labs. And I do have a server here. This is my screen here for my hypervisor. What is hypervisor? It's basically an operating system, a software that will let me host many computers on top of this. Okay, so this hypervisor is called Promox. It's a hypervisor type 1, and in here I have a one Ubuntu machine running, and I was able to install basically the graphic card user interface, so for me to be able to do remote desktop to this machine. So I'm gonna open this machine over here, and this is the one. This is the one that we're gonna be working on. And we're gonna keep playing with GitHub, GitLab, and many other repositories in the future. But for now, it's only we're running just basic stuff. So I think the best way for people to actually, like, I know this is Git, but also by doing is how you learn different things. Like if you start working with with me right now, and you're gonna learn Linux, you review some commands here and there, and eventually you're gonna be able to scale your skills real quick because you're using a little bit of everything. So we talk about hypervisor here, Git, GitHub, um, talking about hypervisors and all this. It's just like make your learning so easy and fast. So what can we do right now here? So we're just gonna go on the fly here, and try to do different things. I do have a bunch of commands that we can run. I made this list in here. So let's go here real quick. So in our last video, we were talking about the 2 different kind of repos, right? Or repositories. There's a local repo, which is your computer, and there's a remote repo. We talk about Git, which was created by Linux, GitHub by 4 different founders. We were able to install Git last Friday, I think, last Saturday. We installed Git, and we run basic commands like get version, get help, the main pages and all that. So today I think we're gonna try to initialize a few folders and just play around. We know that as soon as you start working on a new repository, you are usually the main branch is the main branch. That's how you call it. But you can create many different branches too. We're gonna go there eventually. But you are usually on the working area. Once you create your first code, you're in the working area, and then you can move that code to the staging area, and then you commit the changes. Okay, that's how it works. In case you have questions like that in an interview, you can always answer. And let me see, I think that I have a few more commands over here on how we can make all this happen. Okay, so let's get rolling. So let's go to the Linux machine that I created for us to do work. So let's create 2 different folders. Let's say, first of all, let's see where we are. Print working directory, right? pwd. It says I'm in the Jorge's folder. Maybe I want to move into desktop. Desktop, okay? There on the desktop, let's create 2 different directories. And then let's do project 1, okay? And let's do project 2, okay? Now let's try to go to the first folder, project 1. Yeah. In here, let's initialize. We already installed Git in the previous video. In this video, we're gonna try to initialize this folder. So it Git can start counting and seeing what is inside that folder to know what changed and what doesn't change. So let's initialize this folder here. Looks like we got an error. What is it in here? Oh no, there's no errors in here. It did create it. So it says initialize empty Git repository. Okay. And as you can see, if I do ls to leave that what I have inside there, it doesn't show anything. But if I do ls minus a, I'll see that the Git is hidden in there, you see? So now let's go back. Let's go back to the second folder. Project, CD, project, project 2. Okay. If I do oh, because I made stay there. CD project 2. Oh, I use a different letter. This is the Spanish is kicking in. So now on project 2, now if I do ls here, there is nothing. If I do ls minus a, there is nothing either. But if I initialize this folder for get to start tracking files, then we're gonna see the hidden file. So if I do ls a, now we see get in there too. Now we initialize it two different folders for get to start tracking our whatever we create in there. So let's create here. We are on folder number 2. So what about if we create a text file? Touch project. Let's do project 2 text file. This is a file. There's no a folder. Okay. Now I'm gonna list and see what I have in there, and there you go. You can see that you can use this command to see hidden files. That too. Now let's do that backwards. Let's go to project project 2, project 1. Sorry, project 1. We already initialized this, so let's create a file here called project 1, a txt file. All right, so maybe we want to write something inside this file. So let's do equal, and then we do Jorge, love, learning, right? And then I want to output this entry into the file that I just created, project 1, project1.txt. All right, now maybe I want to read that file and see what is inside there. Now you see what is inside there. Cool. So now let's go back to our second folder. See, they're both in here, right? So we're gonna go into project 2, and I should change. I'll fix this one from here. Let's project 1. So now let's go into CD project 2. Okay. We want to create a text file in here. We're gonna call it project2.txt. Oh, txt. And then here we're gonna say equal. I say Jorge, oh, Jorge love teaching. Okay. And we'd love to output that entry into just a text file that we just created. Now I can read that text file. And now Jorge love teaching. So that was pretty good. So now what happened if I want to add this to the staging areas? So if I go, let's go back to the previous folder. We're gonna say CD project 1, project 1. And put in there also CD project 1. And we're gonna do ls, right? You see that in there. You do cat, then you can read that in there too. And let's see that I want to see what's the status. Let's see what's being tracked. What is being tracked and what's not being tracked. As you can see here, on track, it means that it's still on my working bench, right? On my working area. But I can move this one to the following, to the stage area. So I can just say get, add, and say project 1. So now I can run again, git status, and we can see that the file probably will change. Now there's a new file to be committed. So if we commit it, how do we do that? We can say git commit. We leave a message. We can say something like first commit. Okay, git config run. Oh, I gotta run the following stuff. It's asking me who I am, so I have to run these commands because it wants to know who I am. So if you run here, get status again, it is still there, ready to be committed, changes to be committed. But I have to configure these commands in here. So it wants me to configure an account, right? So we're gonna do that right now. Global user email. I'm gonna give my email address. My email address. I'm just gonna put anything here. Cloud Canada for now at gmail.com, for example. And then I need to configure the name. So get config global and then username, and is Jorge. So now I'll be able to run that git commit. See, there you go. It is now committed. Project one is committed, right? And now I can say git status. Basically, there is nothing to commit because it's already done. So you could do the same thing for project number two, right? And practice. Try to add something on the working area, then move it to the staging area, and then commit the changes with the same commands that I use here. These commands, I'll put them on the description of the video here so you can follow too, and more videos to come. Thank you very much, and we'll do this slowly. Appreciate it. Now I need to stop this in here, and thank you again.